What's up, everyone? Coach Tony here. In this training, we're actually going to show you how to calculate your UC GPA. So it's a pretty interesting concept. We're going to break down. First off, we're going to talk about what is your UC GPA and how it's a little different than your regular GPA. We'll talk about actually how to calculate it. And we have a little gift for everyone who tunes in to the very end for you guys. If you guys want to redeem that little gift, just again, stick on by and you guys will get that at the end. If it's our very first time meeting, my name is Coach Tony. I've been a former UC Berkeley admissions reader for a long time ago, basically seeing behind the scenes of the admissions process. Since then, I've been in the education space literally for 16 years now there. So that's kind of where I'm joining. But today, I actually have a special partner helping me out on this call. She's actually one of our top advisors in our program. So a lot of new families, when you guys have redeemed your free coaching call with us, Coach Two is actually one of our incredible advisors. Coach Two, you'll do a quick 10, 15-second intro, say hi a little bit, and we'll get started with the training.
Yeah, of course. Hi, everyone. I'm Coach Two. I've been working alongside with Coach Tony for several years now. It seems like forever. I do a lot of the advisor calls. So a lot of families who book their first call with me, I provide a lot of recommendation, coaching advice based on what you have going on right now with your student, from all the way from sixth grade all the way till senior year. So by the end of this call, if you guys would like to chat a little bit more, feel free to book a call with me and we can chat a little bit more one-on-one. I'm not used to having 150 people on the
We have Coach Two. What's that? We're at 200 people. It's the first time Coach Two is talking in front of 200 kids. So if you're here live in the chat, go ahead and cheer her on a little bit. Make sure she's not nervous. She's gonna do great as well. So again, let's go ahead and get started with this training. So I'm go ahead and let me go ahead and share my notes for those who are here on time. So in the chat right now, if everyone wants to go ahead and grab a copy of that link, that's the last time I'm posting it. And for everyone else who's joining late, stick on the replay. You guys will get that as well. Okay. So again, this will be just like a fun collab call. Again, you can see it's a blank doc. We have. Well, I told Coach Two. Coach Two asked me, "Do we have slides? Do we have prepared things?" I was like, "No," as well too. We're just gonna talk it through and to have some fun today as well. So if that's okay with you guys, really quick, if that's okay, yeah, guys. Drop your grade in the chat. We now have over 200 people joining us live. If you're watching the time of this the live call, so if you guys want to go ahead and drop your grade really quick in the chat, just so we know who's here, kind of tuning in with us. So we kind of see if we can kind of cater this call a little more specifically to you all. So I see here we got some 12th graders, some 11th graders, families growing up a little bit. We have some 10s, a lot of 12s are here as well. We got some 9th grade families, 10th grade families as well, 11th graders. We got some doubles. We got some 9th and 12th graders as well. So thank you everyone for tuning in live. And for those watching the replay, welcome. Say hello from the past. So okay, so let's go ahead and get started first. So Coach Two, a question for you. So what is, if you could just describe, what is the GPA, the UC GPA specifically?
The UC GPA is a GPA that only the UC uses. No other colleges uses. No Cal State, no private, no Ivies, no elite schools, just the 9 UCs.
Yeah, so it's one of those interesting metrics, right? So why do we have over 220 people here? So yeah, we're all here trying to figure out what the UC GPA, what it is, and how to calculate it as well. But before we even do a more in-depth this very specific UC GPA, really quick in the chat, do you guys know how to calculate a regular GPA? Let me know in the chat. Just ignore UC GPA for now. Do you guys know how to do a regular GPA? If I gave you a transcript, do you know how to calculate that? Got some people yeses. We actually have a lot of no's as well too. Cool. Coach Two, can we do a little off the cuff, can we do a live example of how to calculate GPAs, like a mini training and a training and a training? Let's do a quick how to calculate just a regular first, right? We'll start there and we'll do how to calculate a regular high school GPA. So this is something you can actually do. It'll apply to a lot of you guys in high schools, 9, 10, 11, 12 graders. Just get a copy of your transcript. You can probably get this and do it. Again, if you want to know, just like in school, right? How do we know we have the right answer? You scroll to the back of the book. For you guys, if you're doing the math correctly, the GPA should match up the GPA number on your transcript page itself. So this is a fun step. So Coach Two, if I was to start, if I looked at a transcript, what is the first thing? So I see a lot of classes, I see the grades. What's the first step I do to calculate just a regular GPA first?
Yeah, for all of our families who have no idea how to calculate just regular GPA, so step one would be converting the grades to grade points. And what that means is that, let's say on your transcript, you will get letter grades A, B, C, and D. And let's just throw F in there just for funsies. F is for funsies. And so let's say the numerical number for A on your transcript would be a 4. A B will be a 3. A C would be a 2. A D would be a 1. And an F would be a 0. No fun in that.
Awesome. Curious, what about pluses and minuses for high school students?
Great question. Pluses and minuses do not matter. So an A plus is equivalent to an A minus. An A minus is equivalent to an A. So A plus, A minus, and A is all equal to 4.
4 points. Awesome. Perfect. And one thing to keep in mind as well too is that this is also per term, right? So when you get a grade for a class, really quick in live poll, I like talking to the audience thing. We are 250 people. Holy moly. All right. So really quick, is anyone here in the semester system? Anyone here part of the semester system? Just drop a yes. If your school does a semester system, which means you take a class, you get a class in the fall, you get a class in the spring, like basically a 2 class kind of per year, right? There you go. I've got a few yeses in the chat. Awesome. So if you are in a semester school, this is 2 terms, right? Which means you get 2 grades, right? That's kind of the easy way to think of it. 2 terms, 2 grades. And then is anyone here on a trimester? Drop a 3. If you drop a 3, not Coach Two, drop a 3 on the chat if your school is a trimester school. I think if you're locally in the San Diego area, San Diego does this a lot, and some schools in San Jose. There we go. There's a few, right? San Diego, San Jose. I think you see a lot of schools in those regions have a trimester. For you guys, if you look at your transcripts, right, there's 3 terms. There's 3 grades that you get, right? Some schools do a little interesting. You actually do it 2 grades, and the third one's kind of blank or something. So every school is different, but essentially you get 3 grades here. Okay, so we have that. All right, Coach Two. So first thing I did, I looked at my transcript. I turned all my A's into 4s, all my B's into C's. My B's into 3s, my C's into 2s, D's 1s, and F was a fun 0. Right. So what's the next step after I calculate all my grades to grade points?
Yeah, step two would be adding honor points, and honor points would be considered any of the rigorous college level courses, and this can be called honors, AP, IB, or dual enrollment. For any of these classes, you can add +1 point. So, for example, here, an honor class, you get an A in that class. So that would mean for that A, you get 4 points. But it's now an honor class, right? So you get +1, which means that honor class will now be 5 points on your GPA calculation. Let's say you have an AP class with a B, right? For that B, you would get 3 points. Now, this would be like a regular B, a regular class for B, but because it's an AP, a rigorous course, it is +1 to that 3 point, and now you're at 4 points for that. So this is for every semester. So for example, if you are in a semester long, it'll be two of these grades. And if you are in a trimester, then it will be three grades, okay?
Exactly. So you're adding it per grade, right? So like an AP level course, a semester AP level course, you're adding the +1 to the fall semester. You're adding the +1 to the spring semester. So that's the difference here. So it's not just one extra point per grade, but it's one like +1 for every term there, right? Just to keep it simple, by the way, we use the word term. That's actually the proper term to the proper term to use. Just to keep it simple for today's call, we're gonna call it grade. This is for every grade, and for every grade you see on your transcripts, right? I think that's probably the easier way to think about it versus like, how many terms did I get? So let's look how many grades you got, because each grade you'll get on your official. Keep in mind, some schools you guys do progress reports also. Progress reports don't count for stuff. It's official grades there. Okay. Before we move on to I think we're step number 3 now. Step number 3. If you guys have questions, go ahead and start drop. I see these questions like the corner of my eye over here. Start dropping it in the Q&A section. You'll see that I like to use the chat as a talking with you guys thing. So drop your questions inside the chat, and at the end, Coach Two and I can do some Q&A for you guys as well. Okay, so Coach Two, so recap one more time. We're just calculating just regular GPA in general, right? So number 1, we're converting our grades to grade points. Number 2, now I added all the honor points for every term, right? Every grade that I got. So what is step number 3?
Step number 3 would be to add up all of the points.
Yeah, so basically you're adding up every single thing you see, right? So every single term, the school years, the summers, and everything. So adding up all of the terms, the grades, right? The grades plus summers as well too, right? So that's that. So after I add up, I have this big number. Then what?
Then we will move on to step number 4, where you divide this big number by the number of letter grades that you've gone total.
Exactly. So layers in total. So that's the magical equation, right? So again, it's actually like the proper definition is divided by number of terms, term grades that you get. Again, it's a very confusing concept. So we try to make it easy for you guys to kind of follow along if you guys have your transcript. So think of it as once you add up all numbers, you get a big number, right? I'll write a big number, right? You get a big number. Right. Then you divide that big number by the number of letter grades that you counted up, right? So every like I'm going back here, right? This honors level class where you got an A, you took it for 2 semesters, that's 2. You took his AP class for 2 semesters, it's also 2, right? So that's the number there. And then once you divide it, Coach, I'm assuming that's a GPA,
That's correct.
right? Then your results is our GPA itself. Okay, so that's gonna be the big one. Just to chime in a few things. So this is what people call the weighted. This is the weighted GPA, right? Weighted just means includes the honors. If you guys want to calculate unweighted, the only difference, right? For unweighted, ignore what's number 2? The honors one, number 2,
Yes,
right?
ignore step number 2, which is honor points. So
Correct.
taking out like the +1 for any honors, AP, IB, dual enrollment, college courses that you've taken.
Correct. Yeah. So you'll still count every class, but for the unweighted GPA, you just skip that and go straight from like 1, 3, 4, 5, and then you should be good to go. Okay. So with that said, we're gonna do a live example. And you guys can, again, this is one of those fun trainings we actually can follow along with us. If you're watching the replay, you can pause and do the math on yourself. So Coach Two, we'll do a live example in front of everyone so everyone can follow along as well too. So live example. I'm gonna give you a schedule, right? And then you can
Okay.
let's just calculate the student's GPA based on this. So let's say I took AP Calculus, AB. This student got an A and then a B. Let's say this student took AP US History. A lot of kids are scared of AP, so I got a B and a B this year. Let's take I took English Honors. I got an A and an A. Let's say I took AP Chem. I like chem. I got an A and an A. Let's say I took Spanish 3. It looks like I'm a junior, so Spanish 3. I got an A and an A, and then ITA. Well, my U.S. history, my AP world teacher loved me, so I TA'd for them as well too. I got an A and an A. So let's say these are my grades. Okay, so in terms of honors, points. The Calc, the AP, US History, and English are all and the Chem are all honors courses. The Spanish and the TAing is not honors, right? So again, right now we're not calculating the UC GPA yet. I'm just calculating my regular GPA. Okay, so what if I want to know my weighted GPA? Let's walk through steps again. So, Coach T, what's my step number one again?
Yeah, so step number one would be to just calculate your grades as a regular class, okay?
Yeah.
So going back to what I mentioned before, an A is a 4, a B is a 3, a C is a 2, a D is a 1, and an F would be 0 points for you.
Awesome.
So when we input this in, this is just if they had no honors, right?
Mhm.
Then the next step would be for us to add honor points into this GPA. So on here, it looks like we have 4 rigorous classes taken. So AP Calculus +1, and this is per semester. So +1 on the first semester, +1 on the second semester. A Push would also have +1 for both semester. English Honor will also have a +1 on each semester, and AP Chem will also have a +1 per semester. The only ones that will not get +1 will be Spanish 3 and TA, as because this is not a rigorous course.
All right. So doing the math real fast, adding. These are my new numbers for the classes. Now what?
Got it. So you will add all of these numbers together. So 5 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 will equal to, you know, it says so right here, but I'm a genius, so I did it all in my head and it's 53.
53. Awesome. Fantastic. All right. So now we have 53. What's the next step?
The next step is for you to take this very big number, 53, divided by how many letter grade or point grade you've gotten so far. So
Mhm.
let's take a look at this here. So we are on a semester system, which means we got 2 letter grades, right? And we've taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 courses. So 6 times these 2 letter grades will be 12. So you will divide 53 by 12. And 53 divided by 12 is equal to 4.417. This will be your weighted GPA.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you, Coach Two. So yeah, so this is the weighted GPA. And again, if you want to do the unweighted, just don't add the one and just do the same thing. It's still divided by 12 because there's still 12 grades there. So you can figure that out and then get the unweighted GPA. So when you guys, again, if you guys are bored, right? And that's by the way, a spoiler. When you're bored, right? And then you have your transcript, just do the math, right? Do the math that way. You'll see that it matches the number that you have on your transcript. So it's not a weird made up number, is actually mathematical calculated to get there. Okay. So Coach Two, let's talk about now we know like 101 GPA. Let's talk about the UC GPA now, because that's kind of the purpose of this training. So what makes a UC GPA a little different than just a regular GPA?
Yeah, this is a great question for a lot of families, and a lot of families really ask me this as well too, is that if I were to do a regular GPA, unweighted, I would grade everything. So beginning of ninth all the way till the end of high school graduation. But for UC GPA, what counts is that it starts the summer after ninth grade and the summer after 11th grade. As well as for the UC GPA, it is only the A through G requirement classes that counts.
Requirement classes, that counts. Awesome. Fantastic. So let's talk about that for a little bit, right? So when it comes to, you mentioned only the A through G classes. So what are some examples of classes that would not count, like top of your head right now, that wouldn't count when it comes to the A through G requirement, like for sure?
For sure, classes that would not count towards this GPA would be PE, health, and some schools TAing does not count for the towards this UC GPA.
Awesome. And so now the opposite question. So then I should have asked that first. What classes do count towards it?
Yeah, this would be like your bio, your chem classes, your history classes, as well as your foreign language class, etc.
Awesome. And one thing for families, by really quick, is anyone here in California? Holy moly, Coach T, we have over 300 people here. Really quick, is anyone here in California? Let's drop a yes in the chat if you guys are in California as well, right? So boom, the California, West Coast, Best Coast. All right, so California families, there's something special we can use for anybody else not in California. Your counselor can tell you A through G or not A through G. You can kind of tell, by the way, also. G will be a little for schools. But if you are in California, there's a site you guys can go to, right? So if California, look up something called A through G, no, UCOP articulation, right? UCOP articulation. I'm gonna go to Google really fast. Can everybody still see my screen? I want to search up the word UCOP articulation. It's like the first one. It says, it looks like this blue screen right over here. Again, really quick. Can someone drop if you're in California too, by the way, if you're in California, drop your high school's name in the chat. And Coach T, if you can read me one of the schools that you see that pops up. So California, high school, go. And then Coach T, let me know what school you see.
The first one that popped up, wow, it's going so fast right now.
Again, this
I
Coach
will
Two's
look.
first call. I told you, like these calls are fun. These calls are fun.
I can't.
Yeah.
Let's look at Sunny Hill High
Sunny Hill.
School.
But again, feel free to follow along. And this call is one of those really fun interactive calls that you guys can follow along with us. So Sunny Hills, you meant Coach Two?
Yeah, Sunny Hill High School. So we'll do that. And if I didn't get to your high school, since we have a ton of people here, it's making me nervous. You can look up this website and you can follow along with us as well too.
Exactly. So whoever's lucky, Sunny Hills High School, I'm assuming from Fullerton, right? So you go ahead and click on this site right here and click on course list, right? When you click on course list itself and you scroll down, look at that. This is a list of all the A through G approved courses from your school. Again, if you're not in California, you don't have a site like this out there, I would recommend and talk to your counselors. They usually have a list of like what schools your high school offers and what classes are A through G, because a lot of them work with the UC system. So talk to them. They usually have like a reference guide. But if you are in California, use this site and you'll see here, look, in area A and history, 2 years required. So here's my AP US history A push. There's no AP World. Wow, your school doesn't have AP World. There's AP Euro, AP Gov. B is English, right? So there's your English classes, your AP Lit, AP Lang. Your school has an IB program. That's cool. Math, you see all the math classes. Look, you have a Calc A, B, B, C. Computer Science A counts as a math at your school. Again, some schools count it as Area A, Area C. Some count it as an Area D class there. The science, 2 years required, 3 years recommended. You can see here the AP bio, like Coach Stu mentioned, the bio, the chems, the environmental science. CSP, though, look at that. CSP is an area C class, right? So, sorry, area D class. Area D class, yeah. English, a language other than English, you can do it here. You can see this, oh, your school offers German. That's kind of cool. Korean, Mandarin, Spanish. F is performing arts, taking these classes here. And area G is going to be your elective, right? You'll see here, I saw the calculator check, someone asked leadership. If your school is called leadership techniques, then yes. But if not, no, right? Sometimes I see A as B fall under area G. Some schools it doesn't. You can see here TAing. Is there TAing here? No, TA does not count here. Some schools I have seen it. So it's literally case by case here, right? So I think that's gonna be the biggest one that I see. And just to add on to this, just because I know Coach Two mentioned about honors, right? How do we know a class is honors or not? Because not every H is honors, right? Keeping that in mind. So not every H, let me prove it to you. Here, At this school, right? At what school are we at right now? Again, I forgot. Sunny Hills. At Sunny Hills, if you took bio honors, whoever's in the school, if you took bio honors on high school, on your high school transcript, it will count as an honors level course. It has the word honors in it. For the UCs, however, this is one of the few differences now, right? The UCs do not recognize that class as an honors class. So how do you know a class is honors or not when it comes to the UC GPA? On this page, it makes it pretty simple. If you see a yellow star is honors. So for example, let's say you took chemistry on, right? You took bio honors, you took chemistry honors. You see that little star here? That class will get you that +1. For again, you click here, it says full year, right? I'm assuming your school semester two, whoever's from Sunny Hills, right? Then that's 2 semesters of +1 for the honors points here. And you can kind of see go in every school's a little different. So keep in mind, some schools it might be not honors, but your school it might. So that's the cool thing about this one. I don't know, cool or not, but the cool thing is that some honors counts, some doesn't count. A little pro tip, by the way, a little pro tip for anyone. Every AP, every IB, every college class guarantees +1. That's the one non-negotiable at any school, even if you're out of state. If you're not a California resident, for a fact, your honors, not honors, ignore that. Your APs, your IBs, your college classes will get you +1. That's why we tell families to kind of ignore honors because, again, it can, like geometry did not count, right? Geometry doesn't count. Algebra 2 does not count. But if you took pre-calc honors, that could count. So every school is a little different. So we like to tell our families that, like, if you take an honors class, it's not a bad thing. It's just that let's treat it as a fun surprise that it counts or not count, right? But for us, we like to think rigor as AP, IB, and dual enrollment. And that's kind of, this is the exact reason why too. Okay. So one more thing, I'm gonna go back, Christian. I'm gonna jump in really fast because I'm on a subtopic anyways, right? So honors, again, if you're on the UCP articulation, honors is gonna be the yellow star, right? Is the big one. A caveat on honors points, right? Caveat on honors points itself is it's not every honors will get you +1, even if you had the yellow star. What does that mean? That means there's a cap, right? The UC GPA is a little different than your regular weighted GPA because when it comes to honors points, you're getting a cap, or you're getting up to four points in 10th grade, and you get up to 8 points in 11th grade, but you also get to up to 8 points in 10th and 11th grade combined. That's a really confusing statement, right? If it's your very first time like seeing that, it's a very confusing statement. But in a little bit, we'll probably do like an example, right, Coach T? We'll do an example and we'll come up with excuses. You guys can know what that means, but just gonna get high level. That's what the honors points kind of breaks out into. Okay. And we'll do an example in a little bit. So now that we have the theory down, now that we know that it's only summer after 9th to summer after 11th, only A through G classes count. Only the approved honors will get you the +1 for honors. Now that we know there is a cap to how many honors points you need, that's all the prereq information. Now let's go into the actual, how do we do this? So Coach 2, let's do a part 2, how to calculate our UC GPA. So what is our step number 1 here?
Yeah, great question. So the first step would be the same thing.
Same
We
thing.
will
Mm-hmm.
convert all of the letter grades to number grades. Just to recap, if those of you are was not here during the first half, is just to recap is A is equivalent to a 4. B is equivalent to a 3, C is equivalent to a 2, D is equivalent to a 1, F would be a 0.
Correct.
Now, pluses, minus, and no plus or minus is all equivalent to a 4. So for example, if you have a plus, a minus, or a regular A, you will get 4 for the point, okay? You don't get extra for a plus, and you don't get less for a minus either. Um, but there's a caveat now because this is calculating UC GPA. You are only going to be looking at the A through G courses or college level rigorous courses. So, as well as one other step is that only looking at the summer after ninth grade to the summer after 11th, right? So these are the caveat that and rules we have to follow when calculating the UC GPA. Then the last two step will be the same, is adding all the honor points together, then dividing by the number of grades that you guys have total. With the honor point, just going back to previously, is that the honor points for the UC GPA is that in 10th grade, you can get up to 4 points. 11th grade, you can get up to 8 points. And for 10th and 11th grade combined, you can get up to a total of 8 points added into your GPA. And this is for both semester or for all 3 trimester or whatever system you guys are fall into. This will be all across the board, okay?
Awesome. Fantastic. Quick question before we move on to, and we'll do some like more live examples for you guys, and you guys can go ahead and again, in a little bit, get ready to type the chat. I'm gonna see how good you guys, we're gonna quiz you guys live. So after the divide, do we round, Coach Two? Do you round for the GPA?
Absolutely not.
No. So step
Absolutely
four
not.
is divide, do not round, right? Some people are like, but I got 3.99. Is that a four? Or no, you keep it exactly, you basically cut it off, right? So it'll be like a decimal number. Some of you like a beautiful decimal number, number dot number number. Some of you like a number dot zero zero, whatever it is, right? But if it's like a number dot number, just cut it off. We don't round up either. It's literally cut off after 2 decimals, and that becomes your GPA itself, right? It needs to be X by X. The format is basically A dot BC. That's it. No, there's no D number that rounds it up to whatever as well, too. All right, let's do some live examples again, though, because I think the one thing I'm seeing in the chat as well, too, they're like, I don't get this part. So let's do a few examples. I think by doing examples, it might make sense for some folks. So, and again, feel free to join in along. Holy moly, we're almost at 3:30 right now in the chat. So really quick, Coach Two, example number one, right? So let's say, again, I'm gonna keep it in 10th and 11th grade just to kind of keep the math easy for us. So with the first example, let's say a student takes in 10th grade, it took 2 APs. Right,
Okay.
2 APs in, and assuming also all the examples, they're all semester classes. Just to assume that, right? So they took 2 AP classes, 11th grade. They took 2 AP classes. So how many honors points can this student earn
4
for 10th grade, 11th grade,
for 10th grade.
for 10th grade? And how about for 11th grade?
4 as well
Or
too.
as well too. So the max the student total this student's getting is a +8, right? Pretty simple. You guys are following along. 2 APs means each AP is getting a +1, +1. The 11th grade +1, +1, +1, +1. Yes, +4 total, right? That's a pretty simple example. Next one, right? Let's make it a little more interesting. In 10th grade, right? I realize we have an audience. Let's give the audience like 10 seconds first before we answer too. Right? In 10th grade, this student took 3 AP classes. Ooh, 3 AP classes. And then in 11th grade, this student took only not only. This student went up, took 4 AP classes. Holy moly. All right. So really quick, and everyone in the chat, go ahead and let me know. 10th grade, how many points did they get? 11th grade, how many points did they get? For this one, give everybody 5 seconds. I was going to be too long. 5 seconds, right? Four, a three, a two, and a one. Coach Two, right? For the student with 3 APs, 10th grade, how many points are they earning 10th grade?
4.
4. Interesting, because in theory, 3 APs is 6 points, right? But only 4, because again, it caps out at
It
4.
caps out. The
There you
rule
go.
says that in 10th grade, you cap out at 4 honor points,
On your
no
points.
matter what.
Awesome. And then how about 11th grade? They took 4 APs. What's their points in here? Honor points here.
4 as well too.
4 as well, right? Even though they took
Mhm.
4 APs, which in point wise should be +8, right? In a regular like weighted GPA, right? Is capping out at 4 because we cap out at total 8
Yeah.
combined. We already
Yeah.
have
The
4
third
here.
rule would be 10th and 11th added together. You can only max out at 8 honor points.
Awesome. Let's do a different scenario, right? So let's make it a little more trickier. Tricky now. We're going to like media mode. Let's say in 10th grade they took 1 AP class. 11th grade they took 3 AP classes. All right, 5 seconds on the board. Go ahead, let me know your guesses right now. Drop 2 numbers as well, right? 10th grade 1 AP, 11th grade 3 APs. Which one? How many points? How many points? How many points? All right, Coach Two. 1 AP 10th grade. How many points did I get this year?
2,
2 points, right? Because 1 class, 2 semesters, 2 points. 11th grade, 3 APs. How many to get here?
6.
Holy moly. We had this 3. What happened here? It's because, again, going back to the rules, right? Up to 10 and up to 4 and 10th, up to 8 and 11, maxing out at 8. So this person, again, again, 3 is 6, right? So you add them together, the total here is also 8, right?
Also,
Next one, number 4, right? This would be a tricky one. You guys ready? All right, tricky one as well too. Next one, in 10th grade, this person took 3 AP classes, right? 3 APs in 10th grade. 11th grade, they took no APs. Ooh, right? 3 APs in 10th grade, 0 APs in 11th grade. This will be a fun, tricky one. Let me know what this is in the chat. All right, Coach Two, 10th grade, 3 APs is equal to
4,
4, right? Because 3 AP is 6 points, but we're capping out 10th grade at 4. 11th grade, 0 APs gets us
0.
0. So in total, this student only gets a total of +4 honor points. Okay. And then I think last one to drive the point home. 10th grade, this student took 0 APs, right? But 11th grade, they took 3 APs,
Mm-hmm.
right? So in the chat, go ahead, got 5 seconds. 10th grade, 0 APs, 11th grade, 3 APs. How many points does this honor points does this student get? All right, Coach Two. 10th grade, they get
0 points
zero
for
points,
10th grade
and 11th
and
grade,
6
six
points for
points.
12th grade.
Awesome. So I think, yeah, chat, you guys got a gold star from Coach Two today.
Yeah, a lot of
As
people
a
have gotten the hang
gold
of this.
gold star. All right. Here's something else that may come up as you guys, because again, Coach Two mentioned we're counting ninth grade, the summer after ninth, so summer after ninth, right? 10th grade, which is the year between, summer after 10th, right? At 11th grade, and summer after 11th, right? So that's all the terms that are all the whole area that you're doing it. 10th grade is pretty simple. This is a 10th grade. This is 10th, falls on 10th grade. 11th grade is pretty simple. It falls on the 11th grade. The summers a little more tricky, right? Because are they ninth? Are they 10th? What does it fall under is the question. Because again, if you follow traditional high school, right? Once you finish that grade in June or May, you're done. You're moving on to the next grade. Does that still count with the UC's GPA? Let's figure out. Coach Two, the summer after ninth, what grade does that fall under?
That will fall under 10th grade.
So normal, right? So again, the summer after ninth is you are a sophomore. So the minute you finish ninth grade, the minute you walk out of the classroom, you are officially a 10th grader. That's how normal like high school is. 10th grade, you're a 10th grader. How about the summer after 10th? What does the UC categorize yourself as?
Summer after 10th grade would be 10th grade.
This counts for 10th grade,
Yeah.
does not count for 11th, right? Typically, right, you follow normal like high school, this will count as 11th grade term, right? Your high school would treat it as an 11th grade class, not for the UCs, right? And then so summer after, so 11th grade is 11th grade, summer after 11th, what year does this fall under?
Yeah, it will be 11th. I know some of you want to say
11th.
12th. But it's 11th.
Supposed to be 11th, right? So that's how the UCs calculate. Again, this is a very particular thing. The UC is a very interesting batch. That's why we have this training. So you have to know this and that. One last kind of caveat that usually people think about as well too. We mentioned college class. We mentioned dual enrollment, right? Doing it correctly. Some schools do it a little weird that they make it a whole year class. That's actually not how year dual enrollment is. Dual enrollment is usually one semester, right? Dual enrollment is typically one semester. So if I take a college class, right, one college class, how many honors points do I get? Because I know, because we've been telling families that like it's the same credit as a full year of an AP, right? In terms of college honor points, right? What does one college class equal?
One college class equals to getting one grade and equal to one honor points.
One honor point, right?
Or
So again,
honor point.
point. This is 1 point,
Point.
right? So,
Just
so,
one
so, so
point.
it's one of those very interesting things about dual enrollment that when it comes to honor points, right? That's going to be the thing here. Okay. So that being said, again, I see a lot of questions. Start spamming the questions. Again, I know this is a really fun training. Spam it in the chat. And then let's do a live example. And Coach Two, I just learned out time. We're having too much fun. We're going
Yeah, we're going way
a
over
little,
right now.
little over, a
So we're
little
gonna make
over.
this really
We're going
quick.
real fast. So here's an example I pre-created before this call, just to speed things along a little bit. And then you guys can follow along as well too. So here is, I'll make this a little smaller. You can see. So here's a sample. Here's an example, right? Example as well too. We're gonna calculate the examples. You guys can go ahead and do that, right? So when it comes to this, the format is the class, the grade is semester class as well too. I also categorize as an A through G or not A through G. Okay. So in ninth grade, this example student took geometry, English, geography, health, bio, Spanish 1, drama, PE. They got a C and a B in geometry, BA. Geography was a one semester class, got an A. Health was a one semester class, got an A. Bio, BB. Spanish, AB. Drama, AA. PE, AA. In the summer, they took sociology, they got an A in that class. 10th grade, they took math analysis, got double A's. English was an area B class, got double A's. AP world history, double A's. Chemistry, they got a B, then an A. Spanish 2, got a B, then a B. And PE, here, the only class that they took that was honors was this AP World, right? I can't see that. I'll put a star, right? AP was the only honors class they took, approved honors after here. The summer after, they took dual enrollment again. They took a college art class, got an A there. 11th grade, they took AP US History, AP Calc, AP Lang, AP Chem, Spanish honors, AP Psych, all 6 classes are approved honors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All 6 are approved honors classes. This student shot up to the rigor. Again, you see a mix of A's and B's here. All of them this year actually fell under an A through G requirement. Senior year, the summer after, took Music 101. They got a B. 12th grade, right? They took calc, or they're planning to take, they're signed up now because it's a senior. Calc BC, government, econ, AP, environmental science, AP lit, and they're TAing as well too. Grades, we don't know yet because we are still in progress. And some of them are A through G and some of them are not. So first off, right, let's just answer real quick. First off, from this schedule, which semesters are we going to count towards the UC GPA?
Yeah. So just going back to the little caveats and rules that the UC GPA grade system is that it is only from summer after ninth grade all the way to summer after 11th grade. So we are only going to calculate here the summer between ninth and 10th grade, 11th, and the summer after 11th grade. We can
Awesome.
forget about calculating ninth grade and 12th grade for now. Okay.
The one thing, sorry, Coach Two. The one thing Coach Two specifically said when she said that, she said, we're going to skip calculating ninth grade. I see your questions. And the answer is ninth grade is important. It's not important. It is very important. Readers do see it on the applications. Readers do see 12th grade, right? If you know what Coach Two said, she says, we just don't calculate it. But the
Mhm.
readers, I
Yes.
still see it. As a
Mhm.
reader, for the former Berkeley reader, I still see your classes. I still see your grades. Same thing with senior year.
Yeah.
I don't see your grades, but I see your classes. What we're talking about today is the
It's just
GPA.
GPA.
Does GPA. All right, Coach Two.
Yeah.
So now that we look at this group, what's the next step?
So the next step would be turning all the letter grades into number grades, right? So this is for all the families who just came in here. We are basically turning the letter grades into numbers. So just a recap, an A is a 4, a B is a 3, a C is a 2, a D is a 1, and an F would be a 0. So you will put this all in here for both semesters right now, and then we will calculate the honor points right after. And this is strictly just to calculate UC GPA. It has nothing to do with course, it has nothing to do with the transcript and rigor and stuff. Just strictly talking about GPA for all the families who are interested in calculating the UC GPA, okay?
Awesome. Coach two, really quick questions real fast. Two quick questions here, follow-up questions. There's PE here. Do I count it? Do I add it? What do I do with the PE here?
Great question. If we are looking to calculate the UC GPA, PE would not count in here because it does not fall under the A through G requirement for these UCs.
Got it. How about these three college? I took them at the local community college. This class, this class, this class. Do I get rid of them too? Because they're not technically A through G, or do I keep them in?
Yeah, another great question is that you do keep these classes
Do
because
keep them
these
in.
are college level
Let's
classes.
go ahead and throw a low star because college is honors approved. All right, cool. Now that we have that, Coach Two, I already did. I converted all the grades. Summer to summer, I took out the non-A through G. I calculated numbers to the grades to numbers. So what's next step?
Next step will be adding our honor points. So let's take a look at the summer between ninth and 10th grade because this is only one letter grade. We can only add +1 to this,
Mhm.
right? So your sociology 101 class will be a total of 5 by the end of the semester. Then we're going to take a look at 10th grade. For 10th grade, right? You are only allowed to get up to 4 honor points, no matter how many AP or honor level classes. In this case, it looks like we only have one AP World History class, which
Mhm.
means we get +2 honor points added to this.
Awesome.
Awesome. And then the summer between 10th and 11th grade, again, these college courses, one letter grade, 1 honor points. It would not be 2 honor points.
And the reason why she added the summer after as well too is because these three terms is 10th grade. Again, we have a max of 4, right? So AP World was 2 points already, but these 2 semesters also count as part of 10th grade. That's why we're doing that. But now we're max. So let's say we had another Spanish class that was honors or approved honors, we won't be able to count it because we already maxed out our +4. Does that make sense? Cool. All right, Coach, 11th grade, Coach 2.
Got it. 11th grade, it looks like we have one, two, three, four, 5 AP classes. However, based on the rule that we had previously, is that 10th and 11th grade added together is equal to no more than 8 honor points. Now we already used up 4 honor points, which means on here we can only add 4. So I will only add it to a push and AP Calculus AB.
For those who are curious, math doesn't work. It doesn't matter if you add to Lang or Chem or Spec.
Yeah, it doesn't matter at all.
Math is was it transitive or anything else, right? So, or transitive property? No, that's the wrong one. Cumulative, one of those rules in math. So up to 4 points total. All right. So Coach T, I already did it. So what's the next step after I did all this stuff?
Yeah, the next step would be adding all of this together, every single number for each semester, get a final number, and then divide it by all of it.
Okay.
So on
So
here, total number divide by however many letter grade or number grade you've gotten so far.
awesome. If anyone has a calculator, you can help me do it real fast. But you're basically adding 5 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 5 plus 5, 3 plus 4, 3, 3, 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 4, 3, 4, 4, and 3. Add that number together. Because you know what number it is?
Oh no.
So know it is.
I need to math this out. Give me one sec.
99. Thank you, everyone.
No, 99.
Someone
Thank
take a
you.
guess. No, we don't guess.
No, no
No
guessing. There's
guessing.
no
All right.
guessing. We gotta
And
be
the
very
number we
accurate.
divided by is
Give me one second.
the number of grades, right? So sociology, you got 1 grade. Math, you got 2 grades. English, you got 2 grades. Hit 2 grades. So it's the number of grades, number of terms is the other way you want to think of it, but number of grades that you have. And then how many do we have here? 25, I think. One, two. Yeah, I think 25, right? So we do 99 divided by 25. We should end up with 3.96. Holy moly, Coach Two. I took 6 honors classes, 5 APs, 11th grade, with an honors level class, with 3 college classes every single summer, with an AP class in 10th grade. And you're to tell me I don't even get a 4.0 in senior year? Coach Two,
Yep.
and just to kind of conclude before we move on, by the way, that's the tutorial on how to do it. And the free gift, by the way, if anyone's interested, again, we did the math manually. We do have a freebie to give you guys a calculator. All you just plug in your classes, plug in the grades, enter, and it'll calculate it for you. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. We'll go ahead and give you a copy of that UC GPA calculator. So it's a lot easier. You don't have to like manually add it up. You just say, this is honors, this is not, blah, 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 as well too. Our people say, yeah, love it. Coach Two, that all being said, we spent 53 minutes talking about all this stuff. A lot of parents are like nervous now. They're all nervy about this stuff. What's the general big, because you've been on a bunch of coaching calls with a lot of our new families.
Yeah.
What's the biggest advice that we as a company share when it comes to the GPA stuff?
Yeah. The biggest advice is that GPA does not matter at all. All that we care about is, did you take the rigorous course, right? And we can see here that the student has taken a lot of honors, a lot of high level AP, IB, or college level courses to really progress, right? And if I were to put this in perspective, if we were to have a student that took all regular classes, right? No high level, no rigor at all, and they got the same GPA. If you were to tell me to just look at a student's GPA, that meant absolutely nothing to me, because I want to see what other work the student put into it, as well as did they go above and beyond and try to challenge themselves by taking all these harder level classes. That's really what I care and worry about the most, as well as, do these higher level honor rigorous courses, do they count, or are you just taking a bunch of these classes and they end up not counting just for the sake of it, just to look good or into your GPA as well too. So that is basically the summary of everything that GPA does not count. I definitely would not freak out on all these pluses and
100%. It's a training we've been requested a lot from. You can see we have 3 people here joining us live. We do it to show you guys, here's how you do basic math is the thing. Do you have to do it? I would not recommend it. It's not worth your time to do it. Again, if you're bored, if you like to plug in numbers in a calculator, go for it. Do it for to have fun. But again, as a reader, I was someone behind the scenes, seeing these on a daily basis. It's not that important to calculate, right? It's not that big either. The number tells me nothing about a student, right? What if, again, there's a lot of, Coach, you mentioned, you could take all A's, regular classes, that's a 4.0. What does that really tell me about the student though, right? So again, with that being said, again, like Coach Two, thank you. That's amazing. One thing what we want to offer, like Coach Two mentioned, if you guys are interested, right? For our coaching families, they get to work with us inside our programs, their calls, they get chats with us. But for our new families, you're not yet in our program and you're interested in booking a free chat either with Coach Two or one of our other incredible advisors. I'm dropping a calendar in the chat. Coach Two, we have like 5 minutes. We'll do Q&A. A little bit as well too. But for anyone who is interested in jumping on a free chat with our team, just to kind of, again, do a quick audit, see where you guys are at, and kind of and they'll give you some recommendations based on their family, based on where you're at. We'll probably tell you, hey, stop worrying about GPA. It's not a big thing, but there are other things we should focus on. It's one of the big takeaways. I know, Coach T, you take 30 seconds, talk about like what are some big takeaways you kind of seen in the last few calls that you've been on, like this week so far.
Yeah, a lot of the calls that biggest takeaway from a lot of families is that they have no idea. They have no idea on what classes to take, courses to take. They are so hung up on GPA that they forget the bigger picture, right? Because you're so hung up on this such a small number on your application, you forget the bigger main picture of academic rigor and what you should be taking and what the colleges are actually looking for rather than just calculating GPA and just trying to aim for that 4.0, 4.0, 4.0. And that's it. Like families just talk about GPA on these calls and you don't know what you don't know. And a lot of these type of things are really scary and hopping on all these type of calls really help clarify a lot of these things for a lot of families.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach Two. I just look at time. We probably don't have time for Q&A unless we do a like 10-second per question. So here's what I want to recommend. First off, can we get a round of applause for Coach Two? She said she was super nervous. Go ahead and drop the hearts in the Zooms, drop the thumbs ups in the Zooms as well too. Coach Two was told me she was super nervous coming in. She crushed it as well. So again, if anyone's interested, again, if you want to chat with Coach Two, she's again, you can see she's one of our top advisors for a reason. If you guys do want to chat directly with her, let me know in the chat. We can kind of hook you guys up and give you guys her direct link instead. You guys can use her link to talk to her directly for your little 15-minute assessment as well. Here's what I'm going to do just for sake of time. The questions are actually really good. I scrolled through the questions. I'm going to save them. So if you have questions now, drop them in the Q&A box as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and save all the questions. I might do a live tomorrow, right? Who knows? I might do a live tomorrow in our Facebook. You guys know last week I just went live and they're like, let's just answer questions for you guys. I might do that with today's calls, today's questions. So if you guys want to go ahead and drop your questions in the Q&A box, go ahead and do that right now. We'll go ahead and answer that. Awesome. One more time, if you guys want to book that, people asking for where do you book the call, go ahead and use that link, tap it. In a minute, we're going to close out this room. The room will not be available anymore. That link will go away. But we're offering again, we opened up a few spots. Coach Two's calendar, she opened up a few spots. I asked her to open up today. Some of our other advisors, which you might meet later this week as well too. They opened up their calendars for you guys to jump on a chat to help to talk to them about kind of where you're at, some recommendations. It's not a sales call, by the way, so they won't sell you anything on this first session, just to kind of meet and greet, see where you're at, and then give you some recommendations as well too. One more time, I'll drop it one more time in the chat. That's pretty much it. All right. Again, I'm going to save the questions. So if you guys have questions, drop it in the Q&A. I may do an impromptu Facebook Live in our UC Admission Secrets Facebook group. If you're not in there already, definitely join us. Look up UC Admission Secrets. It is the largest UC admissions group on Facebook currently right now. And thanks to you all. So thank you very much. I'm saying thank you. We welcome everyone. So again, one more time, dropping the link. Thank you, Coach Two, for joining me here today. Um, you may have to
It's
come
my
back.
pleasure.
You have to come
Uh,
back.
Thanks for having me, and I hope to see you guys soon. Okay, bye.